Hi everyone, this is Denise Saladay. Welcome to Supportability Training for Clarity 16.2.1. I will be covering the topic Action Items. So what is new in Action Items for this release? For any action items in the Modern Library, you will now have the capability where you can set attributes or update attributes based on any action item assignee decisions. We've also made some modifications to action item notifications. In Modern, you can now go into your personal settings and update or view your action item notification settings. Additionally, in Modern, users can go in to their bell icon and they can view any action item notifications that they have in Modern and expand that notification to access their action items directly where they can take action. And last, we made some usability enhancements to the action items module. For our demonstration, the first thing that we'll look at is how you can configure action items in the Modern Library to set attributes in Clarity based on any decisions from assignees. After that, we'll take a look at how users can maintain and update their notification settings in Modern. We'll also view action item notifications in Modern. And last, we're going to take a look at the enhancements that we made to the Action Items module. So now, let's review the new capability where inside of Action Items, you now have the capability where you can update or set attributes in Clarity based on responses from action item assignees. Setting attributes will be configured in the action item itself under Administration. You can either create a new action item or you can go into an existing one. And you'll be able to update this on the third step of your action item. You can see here that I have criteria set for this particular action item that if the assignee approves it, I've set an action for set attribute where I'm setting a custom attribute is approved for capital set to yes, and I'm also setting the approval date, another custom attribute, capital approval date, with the current date. And if it's rejected by any assignee, I'm setting the attribute is approved for capital set to no. Now, in order to create an action, you would just click on the add condition and create a condition as you would before. And if I had another condition, I'll just redo this one here. You have a new action button. Now, because the only action that's available within action items to set attributes is setting attributes, it defaults with that action here. So what you'll do next is you'll choose whatever attributes that you want to update for this decision, if it's approved in this case. And the attribute list here that you have available to select from are all those attributes that are on the target object for this action item. I'm going to pick something different here. And then you can just pick any value if this was lookup values here that you can select for your values. And if you want to add another attribute to set, and you can set as many of these as you want for each condition, you can just go in and select a different attribute and repeat the process. But there's really two important things that you should note. One is that you can set more than one attribute for each condition criteria that you have defined here, but You can also use different attributes. Notice I selected client for this one, and then I have a different attribute as approved here for capital. You can also modify any set attribute actions that you have. There's a trash can that's available for each attribute if you want to remove it from the set list in your action here. What you can also do is you can delete your whole condition here, your action. And because I already have one defined here for approved, I wanted to delete that, and I'm going to also delete the approved condition because I have it up here. And once you're finished adding any changes that you want to do or creating your action item initially, you would just click Save. Action item decisions and actions are evaluated right after the assignee decision is submitted. So whatever is in the action item at that time of the response is whatever attributes will be set. So if you have any in-flight action items, whatever criteria exist in the action item at the time of the response from the assignee is what will be updated. Remember that action items in the modern action item library can only be created against master objects. And any decision or setting attributes criteria that you define here in this step is only available for attributes that are on the target object of the action item. Now in my blueprint, this action item that I've created here is going to be triggered whenever the project's cost type is set to capital. So we'll take a look at an action item that I triggered previously against a project, e-commerce portal. As you can see here, there's a closed action item for this particular item to approve it as a capital project. The action item is closed because it's already been approved for capital. And if we navigate back to the project grid, you can see that the attributes are updated from my action item, and it set the is approved for capital to yes, and it had set the approval date to the date that I updated it. Customers now have the capability to update their action item notification settings in Modern. I mean, they could do that in Classic previously, but now they can do it in Modern. And you'll navigate to Settings for your user, navigate to Notifications, and you can see that the action items, we only have the alerts configured here. And if we update that, we'll just add emails. Any changes that the user makes to their settings there is kept in sync with the same settings in Classic under the account notifications. You can see here, once I refresh this, we can see the update that I made to email for action items. And the action item notification settings that I just made, they of course would apply to any action items that are triggered by both process and business rules. What's also new in this release is users can actually see their notifications. So if we click on the bell here, you can see that they now have action item alerts here in the bell in Modern. And if you click on this, you'll notice that what you can see here is the actual action item. And users can view any detail for the action item. This one here needs a decision on it, and they can actually take action right here. These action items and their notifications are still visible in Classic today as they were in the past. Now we'll take a look at the enhancements that we made to the Action Items module. So if we navigate under e-commerce portal project to the Action Items module, notice that we now have open and close states for action items in a left pane. In the last release, they were tabs across the top. This allows for better scrolling behavior and less white space, which is overall a better user experience. We also added a new capability for Expand All and Collapse All. When you click on this, it will apply the state to all the action items on the page. In this case, it's open. So if I was to expand that, I would just say Expand All, and it would expand all of the detail for any action items that I have here under Open. On the Open area that I've expanded, this state for the user is going to persist as long as they remain inside the Action Items module. So if I go to Closed, notice that these are still in collapse mode. But if I were to expand them all here, you can tell that they're all expanded. That state's going to persist as well as the open and closed both. As long as I remain in the module, whatever state the user selected is going to persist. So if I do a collapse all here, notice that the caret is still available where users can just expand or collapse a specific action item. This concludes the supportability topic for action items. Thank you.